Welcome. I'm so glad to see so many faces. This is lovely. I am a stroke survivor. My name is Angelia Abouhassan. I had a complication with RCVS syndrome, and I wound up having ischemic stroke. I lost my entire right side from my vision and mobility. I was in a wheelchair. This happened in 2019, and today I have gained probably, I would say, about 90% of my mobility back, and my body seems to be melding back together very nicely. My balance is returned. I'm finding great symmetry these days. So anyhow, I started doing all of this about a year and a half to 18 months into my healing. I started trying this breath work, and something started happening. I just started trying it here and there whenever I remembered. It took me a minute to remember all of that. Anyway, and something just began to work. Something began to open up inside of me, and it was something I was very foreign to, but I was incredibly grateful for. So I just feel like this was such a gift that was given to me, and I feel like it's super important to share this stuff with other people that are really struggling, finding and figuring out what's going on within their body systems. Stroke is a big trauma to your system, and that trauma, that state of trauma, it actually sets us into a little bit of an unawareness of what's going on within inside of our body, because we start to breathe very differently. Now, breathing is not just a biomechanical thing that we do. Like, we need oxygen, that's something that we all know. But that's not the only thing that's important whenever it comes to the way that we breathe. We need the breathing style of just sitting here, just listening or watching TV or whatever. Typically, people will be short breath. They will not be engaging their full diaphragmatic system into the breath. Therefore, most of the time, also what I found is that this is a standard state today of how we function. It's, we breathe in an unaware state within our body. We just do it because that's how we do it. Well, there's actually more of a biomechanical way to train your body how to breathe a little bit more in rhythm with the rest of your systems. All right. By engaging the diaphragmatic exhalation or inhalation a little bit deeper, what it does is it will widen it'll greaten this response within your body. It just seems to turn on and accelerate the pressures. It allows more oxygen to get into your body. It pushes your blood better. It helps remove the lymphatic fluid. And the lymphatic fluid in our body is the waste fluid that our bodies secrete through our bloodstream. And it all winds up leaving out its own valves of your body. And it's incredibly important to get that waste out of your body and not allow it to sit and coagulate with your body system. Coagulation can come out in symptoms like whenever you push your skin and it leaves a divot. That can show you, like, the beginning parts of it. it can actually start to get even deeper, where it changes the structure of how your cellular response is. People can start gaining weight and it's funny because your body responds that way as a protection method to protect the things that are happening within the body because of the illness that it's creating. So anyhow, let's get back to this. There's all kinds of styles of breath work. There's like a ton of different kinds. They range from popular kinds like yogic or what is it? Pranayama. There's rebirthing. There's something called soma breath. The Wim Hof breath. They all have. There's a Kundalini breath. They all have a little bit of a different style to them. Some of them will elevate your body, almost putting you into a state of overbreath. And then it degrades your body, trying to bring you back into a state of calm, rest, and digest. I find that everything that I've studied thus far, it seems as though, it's okay to do those breaths that are almost causing trauma to your body whenever you're not really suffering from recovery, or not, I don't want to say suffering, but whenever you're not really in the healing state, whenever your body is in a more stable spot. I think that through this, and to assure like blood pressure issues, because all of us had a stroke or had some sort of something regarding that, and some kind of brain injury. And most of these things are caused because of the dysbiosis within our body systems. Actually, all of it is caused because of the dysbiosis within our body systems. And that really begins with us not being able to breathe properly. Breath is super important for circulation. It's incredibly important to expel the carbon dioxide and inhale the oxygen, fresh oxygen. What we're going to do is we're going to start this off. I'm going to start some music. We're going to get comfortable. Everybody gets seated in a nice, comfortable position. Go ahead and, if you are able to move what you can move, please feel free as we move through this to have any kind of involuntary movement that your spirit feels move to do. We're gonna get this going. As we start this, we're going to start with breathing in through our nose in a rhythmic pattern of a count of 4, and then we're gonna breathe out in a count of 4. We will do 4 repetitions of that, and then from there we will move into a rhythmic count of 4 inhalations, and then hold for 2, and then exhale for 6. And we will repeat that in a repetition of 4 repetitions as well. I'll be in the background guiding as we do this, just so everybody kind of has an idea of how we're going to get this started. Please, whenever you're breathing, breathe through your nose. It's incredibly important. Your nose is one of the main filtration systems. When you're mouth breathing, you allow a tremendous amount of unwanted things within your body. So, okay, and let's have some fun here. Okay, everybody rest, relax, let their bodies and minds just kind of flow with what the music is going. I'm going to play a little bit of music, and we're going to do a little bit of breathing. Please feel free to shut your cameras down. This isn't a visual thing. You can sit with your camera on. You can just dim your gaze and kind of pull your awareness into your body as we start this. Okay? And let me get this going again. And hopefully this will be loud enough. It might be slightly muffled.
I'll look into playing it through the meeting.
Yeah. Can you hear some of it? It's very muffled.
A little bit, yeah.
That's okay. It's okay.
I forgot.
Right.
I'll do it before next week. Look into, there's a way you can play music through the meeting, and then everybody will hear it right, and it'll go on the recording better. My bad.
We'll get this together as we do this.
Like
All right.
anything, we're new to this.
Yes, indeed. All right. So let's energize our bodies. If you can, please feel free to clap your hands together. If you're unable to, go ahead and what we want to do is just kind of give them a good clap, two of them or together, to kind of get your energy source going, rub them a little bit, and then place them down on a part of your body. You can put them on your heart chakra. You can put them down on your danshan. It's your lower abdomen area, or you can place them on your knees. If you feel free to put them wherever you feel the most comfortable. We're trying to ground our bodies into our bodies. Please feel free to dim your gaze. Set your intention today of healing. If you have a specific intention, speak that intention into yourself about a part of your body you want to heal more, about anything that you feel that you need to have an intention on. We're going to start with taking a deep inhalation through our nose, filling up our entire bellies and diaphragm, and blow it out our mouth. And repeat. On this fourth inhalation, suck all the air, oxygen into your body. And as you're blowing it out, feel free to sigh. Let's stimulate that vagus nerve. Just continue the rhythmic breath in and out of your body. Begin to become aware and pull your awareness within your body. See how your body is feeling. Just take notice of the energy, of the pain, of any discomforts. Keep the breath going. Next inhalation, I want you to hold for a count of 2 and exhale for a count of 6, emptying all of those carbon dioxides out of your body. Get those toxins out. Please feel invited to put a little force behind your breath or sound behind your breath.
Let's finish 2 more repetitions and then just go back to a normal breath pattern, staying grounded to your body. Become aware of how your body is feeling. Is your body speaking to you today? Maybe ask it what it needs. What you can do for it today to have it feel a little better. I invite you to roll your neck to the back and maybe release a little tension with a head roll, moving slowly around your neck. You might hear some cracks or creaks. That's just stagnant energy leaving your body. Go as slow or as fast as you feel comfortable. We're going to go 3 times to one side and then switch and go 3 times to the opposite. Keeping your breath moving in and out. Bring your head back to center. And let's take a nice deep inhalation. I'm going to count to 5 on the inhale, and then I'm going to count to 8 on the exhale. Let's go ahead and inhale through our nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's hold that breath. Hold that breath. Hold it and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's hold that breath again. Hold it. Let's hold it and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go back to a normal, intentional, deep inhalation. And blow all that out. Become aware of the sensations that are arising within your body, how your body is communicating with you. It's very normal to feel a little bit of dizziness, a little tingly. I want you to feel free to move your body. And any voluntary movement that you need or want to right now, just keep a rhythmic breath in and out of your body. Through your nose, out your mouth. We're going to take 3 more deep breaths. And on our last breath, let's put a big smile on our face and thank our bodies for giving us this moment. Thank our bodies for giving us this oxygen. Thank our bodies for giving us this life today. Thank you. All right, you can blink your eyes to kind of pull your awareness back in. Just put your hands down on your body. I want us to just sit and feel how we're feeling right now. If we're having any different sensations within our body, do we feel give your body a little bit of a couple minutes to kind of speak to itself. Listen to what your body is saying. Listen to what your mind is saying. Let's thank our bodies and each other for the time that we've given and the space that we've given to our bodies to heal today through this new experience that we're trying. I want to thank you all for being open and coming to see what this is about. And let's take some time to share. about how we're feeling and what this was like for ourselves through this. Please, if anybody feels free to speak, feel free.
I feel more relaxed. Before I was very tensed, and now I feel more calm and everything.
Mm.
Thank you for that. It's very, very, I felt this very helpful.
I feel the same way, and like Angelia said earlier, it's just one of the tools, but it's an important tool, and breathing can play very much into mindfulness, can it, Angelia?
Most certainly.
Maybe after a few weeks, we could start maybe exploring those kinds of connections. Who knows? If everybody's interested in doing this, we'll keep doing it. So
Yeah.
it looks
Definitely,
like
we
it.
can do this.
Good
That
turnout.
sounds, that sounds really good.
I
And so
feel like you were coaching us, and I feel like it works better.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially in the early days, Angelia, it's like yoga class. If you haven't done it a lot, Winnie and Carly and people and Judy have taken the yoga class. It's helpful in the beginning until you kind of can know enough about it to kind of anticipate or know what you're going to do. And the other thing is, as some of us get better at this, we'll also get newbies. So I mean, it's a good thing. And I personally like, the neck rolls and any kind
Yes.
of
That's
basic. Well, that's basically neck stretching. We do that in yoga class with the breathing, ear to
mhm.
shoulder. It's
I
rolled.
feel like I slept maybe wrong. I have like a little stiff neck, so it kind of helped.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I
Another,
do need to check with, I know that there's an OT and she talks about maybe after dissection that you have to limit the movement of the neck, not go to the back at all. So that might be something that needs a little more research.
I believe that everybody really understands their bodies. I believe that your body, through this, you're going to learn that your body will communicate with you and tell you the ways that you can move and the ways that you can't move. And the suggestions that I make are merely suggestions. I want everybody to feel free and open to the voluntary movements that they and their limits will allow them. Truly. And I want that to be known. Everything that I'm teaching you here is things that I have learned that have helped me. And I want everybody to know that everything I teach you might not work for you specifically. There might be bits and pieces of this that will work, and only that will work. Please develop this into your own style. I'm going to teach you the different styles. If we continue this, my plan is to teach the different styles of breathing so you can understand what they might do for your body. The style of breathing that I did today was merely a small scope of some rebirthing breathing. And we really didn't get too deep into it because this is a new class.
Yes.
So as we progress through this, we'll be doing different things. It's going to be neat. It's going to be real neat. So I'm excited. I'm so glad that you guys seem to have enjoyed this.
Absolutely. I think
And you have a beautiful voice. It's very calm. It's soothing.
Hmm.
It's very nice to.
I think it's great that you take the time to do this. It's, it's very helpful. I really
Yes.
appreciate that you take the time out of your day to help, try to help people. That's very nice.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
I appreciate that. And also, I'm a little upset with myself that I missed the very beginning of when you were talking, and
it'll be on YouTube, and you only were a couple of minutes late.
okay.
Polly has a valid point, but I would hope that anybody, it's like everything, there's no one size fits all solutions. I run into the same thing, Angelia, where, you can't consider, you have to consider most of the people.
Mhm.
There are going to be exceptions where things don't work, and certainly a carotid dissection. I would hope that if you had one, that you would know what you can do and what you shouldn't do. However, I saw a post about 3 days ago, somebody with a carotid dissection asking about going to a chiropractor. And
Oh,
so it's clear that people don't, not everyone has an understanding of what happened to them and what they should and shouldn't do. But
mhm.
it's a valid point, but it's really kind of, on them. If I'm, teaching somebody, something that involves balance and you don't have balance, maybe you better modify it. I mean, I'll try and say something like that, but
Yes, this is definitely an adaptive practice. Polly, I completely appreciate you making that point, for sure. And it is
Well,
important
I'm
that the
not
people,
trying to say, I will say, so many of us don't know what is okay to do. And especially, Angelia, when you're talking about teaching us to be more in tune with our body systems, that does imply and is probably correct that we aren't really in tune to know what to do and what not to do at first.
Mhm. And we'll learn, I think we'll all get there as a group. We're going to help each other out through this. So, and that's kind of, what this is all about
Thank you.
is, yeah, is definitely helping each other out. So,
Hey, Polly, I'm sure, yes, in the last few days, mindful breathing must have been beneficial for you with the hectic schedule you had with traveling.
seriously.
It actually seemed a little bit more relaxed than my usual schedule.
well, there wasn't anything you could do about it. They sure slapped you around a bunch.
Oh my goodness, yes, they did. She was all over the place, the poor lady. That was awful.
Yeah, I almost commented like, go to the city where they're going to comp you on the hotel, but they hardly do that anymore.
They don't, because it was all weather related, so there was no.
Yeah.
They used to, believe me, because I made a video for
Oh,
U.S. Airways
sure.
called Irregular Ops, where we taught the people how to hand out the coupons and vouchers. So it's something they've done away with pretty much.
Yeah, if we had gotten to a city where we were spending the night, I told Stephen we should probably stay in Chicago because there's a Hilton right in the airport. But if we were spending the night, I was going to ask him at least to feed us.
I think the breathing, I think that for at least I could speak for myself and maybe for everybody, breathing is like, how many times did all of us blink our eyes in the last 15 minutes that we were chatting? Who keeps track of that? And it's the same with their breathing. We're not,
Right.
it's not mindful breathing. Your breathing is probably a lot more shallow and it's not as productive as what it could be. And I think this class, what I'm hoping out of it is to kind of like make you more in tune with your body and better breathing.
The
This,
real secret is, and I haven't fully made this transition yet from yoga class, where I've been going to my sister-in-law's yoga class for about a year and a half. To get it out of the class into regular life, full time or most of the time. That's a real jump, and that's where I think we could all make progress when you can kind of integrate it into your life and not just do it in the class. Or
yes. And that's a slow process. I know for me, it took me quite a bit of time to be able to get to the point where I did this consistently. And it's also something that you really need to understand, like speak to your doctor, understand your medicines. Like those types of things are a little bit important on how many times you should be doing this a week. I recommend strongly that whenever you feel that overwhelming anxiety, that rise of heat or pressure within your body. Some people feel it in their chest, some people feel it all throughout their extremities. Those are the moments that your body's speaking to you and telling you that you're stressed. No matter what, it's really kind of important to listen
Yes,
to
I
those
do
moments.
experience that a lot.
Those moments are moments where your body is releasing a little bit too much of a chemical imbalance of cortisol and adrenaline. And those are trauma moments. I like to call them trauma moments. Having a stroke is incredibly traumatic. It does something inside of your body and alters the response that we have physiologically inside of our body systems. And at that point, it's almost like you get stuck in this fight, flight, freeze, fawning. I'm freaking out all the time, or I'm depressed, or I'm sad, or I
Right.
can't stop thinking, or I can't move forward. And it just kind of almost feels like a heaviness, like somebody put a heavy blanket, at least it did in my body. It felt like my right side wouldn't move ever, you know.
That's what
And
my left side is. My kids say, "Mom, move because you're in my way." I'm like, I can't. I'm frozen.
yeah,
Like my leg
yeah.
will move.
So, and what I have found is through breath, what it does is it actually gives your body a complete reset within your parasympathetic and your sympathetic response from your amygdala. Your amygdala is where that stuff comes from. And if things aren't firing right in there because you're mouth breathing or you're shallow breathing, because you do it, just like you said, it's an unconscious thing. How many times have I blinked my eyes? And I don't really become aware of it. And it only takes a couple minutes, and I know we all have a couple minutes when I'm sitting down and I'm in front of a TV, I can turn the volume down, or if I'm in the bathroom, even sitting on the toilet, I can sit there and I can breathe with intention to help my body heal, you know? And I can't stress enough how important this is to pull your body and your body's response within the body system out of that consistent stress response. So,
Good. When I got stressed or overloaded or whatever, I would sometimes just sit down in a chair, close my eyes, and start breathing. Not exactly meditating, but heading down that road a
Sharing
little
that,
bit, I
right?
guess.
Yes.
Um,
mhm. Yes.
I think that, for those of us, I being one, that unfortunately dealing with mobility issues after you've had a stroke, I have a significant amount of pain that I live with every day. So I think my approach coming to this particular session is looking for just another tool to throw in my toolbox of how to deal with this horrendous pain that I'm living with. I mean, right now it's probably at a level 9, and it's just,
I do
you
with the
try to
pain
find
as well
ways.
every single day.
I'm sorry.
I deal with the pain every single day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Shoulder blades, my hips. I just don't know what to do for that anymore.
yeah,
well,
yeah. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I was simply going to say that I think that mindfulness and I think I'm working with an OT who has been doing a lot of massage, and she said to me, she also has me when she's really doing a massage on these upper muscles. She says practice the breathing, and she's been making me do that. And then I said to her, I knew this was coming up, and she said, do it. She said, because you know, there is no one thing that's going to solve everything for all of us. You gotta, each of us, what may work for you may not work for somebody else, but you gotta, and I think
Sorry,
it's
did you
true. I
ask
mean,
the OT to do that massage for you, or the OT just did it?
I'm sorry.
Did you ask the OT to do that massage for you, or the OT just did it?
My doctor, my physiatrist recommended that I go there for a specific type of massage
See.
for a particular area of my shoulder. And from talking with my OT, she has, you know, said to me about how important the breathing exercises are.
Mhm.
And so that's why I think being here today, I think is going to be a good start for me.
Fantastic. Just so you guys all know, I do private sessions if that's anything that you're interested in. This is something I'm going to be doing weekly for now, and there's not ever going to be a charge, but private sessions, there will be a charge. And if that's something you're ever interested in, just please feel free to contact me. I'm completely open to that. I wanted to put that out there just so you know it's an option. So.
Joanne, Sophia, we've had Dr. Hetzler who's a neuroscientist who had a stroke. He's done 5 presentations for us. He also shows up about at least half the time to other meetings, and I can't say whether they were in his presentations or they were comments, but this whole thing of pain has come up, and he has mentioned twice in 2 different meetings something about a study that was done that found that basically mindfulness was the only thing that, or the most successful thing in terms of getting rid of that, like chronic nerve pain. Works a lot better than drugs or anything else. And like I said earlier, you know, breathing is part of the kind of the mindfulness toolbox. So
Yeah.
Breathing has been a huge, I used to live in a great deal of pain as well. And I say I used to, I still have moments where the inflammation within my body system causes my body to tell me it's in pain. But I have also, I am a functional nutrition or not so much a practitioner. I'm in school right now and I'm owning the title at this stage. I have learned how to decrease the inflammation within within a body system through nutrition and breath and small body movement. And those are the things that that's why I think getting everybody kind of started in this direction. And what I have found is that with the breath, it allows your mind and your body to calm down enough so that inflammation can die down a little bit and your response to things around you can be more of an authentic you response rather than stacked on top of stacked of I've got this going on, I've got this going on. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I completely empathize and understand completely. My God, I couldn't move my body at all. My husband had to get me up. He had to wake up with me all the time just to help me get into the bathroom, to help me get onto the toilet that was sitting right next to my bed. I mean, and the pain was outrageous. It changed everything about me.
Pain is definitely a game changer. I say it's not for the sissies in life. And my type of pain is 24/7 for the last 5.5 years, and it's severe pins and needles on my entire right side, as well as severe spasms, internal spasms that are you know, really like torturous. And so, you know, in the beginning you try, you know, I'm not a big fan of meds, but you try it. And then I found that, you know, those really didn't give me any appreciable benefit.
Exactly.
And too many negative side effects. So then I started changing my mindset to saying, you know, I need to sort of develop my own coping toolbox. So distractions, trying to get involved in like something, a menial task, something that'll force me to think about that as opposed to just being overwhelmed by this horrific pain that I'm in. I mean, as I'm talking to you now, I mean, it feels like there's an alien, really wrenching my body. But, you have to figure out a way for yourself to survive, and you can't just sit in a corner. So it's like, okay, this is what I've been dealt with. Now what am I going to do about it? And so I think, Ralph, in speaking with you initially, going back to that doctor, I did sit in on a few of his initial sessions that you had with him, and I've missed the other ones. And obviously, I can go back now and look for it, and I will definitely do that. And for Angela, everything that you're saying is spot on, and I think that medicine has its limited function, and you break a leg, you take this. Oh, you
Yes,
hurt.
I agree with that. That's the same thing. When I have my visits with the doctor, I say, oh, I have so much pain in my shoulder blades. I feel like someone is trying to rip my arm out of my shoulder blade. And I'm like, can someone just,
And what's so funny, when people look at you, obviously they can't see, they see someone, they see you like I am now. They see me talking, they say, oh, how could it be? Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you measure pain, but for everybody it's different. But
exactly.
what I've learned is that I didn't know this beforehand, before I had the stroke, but I have a high tolerance for pain. But having said that,
Me
it's
too.
brutal.
Me too.
Yes, I think today was was very excited and looking forward to today. And Ralph, obviously, all the things that you produce and put out there, I see all of it. And I just think that all of us are we may be on different journeys, but we have that one connection.
Well, and
Definitely.
Joanne,
I think this is an awesome session. I love it. And
Mhm.
I'm definitely going back because I want to hear what Joanne said right in the beginning. So I gotta listen this again.
join us next Friday. And Joanne, what I'm going to do is I'm in touch with Dr. Hetzler. I try not to bug him, by asking him questions every day, which I definitely could do. Every day I could come up with a question for
I'm
that.
sure. I'm
But
sure.
what I'm going to do is
Sure.
I'm going to ask him about this because he's referred twice to a study.
I would be interested.
Since he's a neuroscientist, they have a way of thinking. Like everything to them is like based on study and science. So uh, I'll explore that, and I can find out the study, and then maybe the study will lead us to some more information about how do you use mindfulness to get rid of pain, because that's kind of the key there, isn't it? We know about all these things and they're out there, but how do you implement them?
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Well said. Well said. Exactly.
Uh, all I can do is promise that I'll write to Dr. Hetzler, get the study,
Great.
and start going down that road. Everybody, Angelia was talking earlier about trying all kinds of different things. So I was thinking about my Yogi Berra meme that I haven't posted yet. He has a famously silly quote that
Oh, I love his quotes.
Oh yeah, well, when you find a fork in the road, take it.
Take it.
So that's like an analogy for if you turn over all the rocks in your own recovery and try and figure out what works for you.
Right.
Once again, it always comes back to your own body awareness and your own mental awareness. Because if you're not paying attention to what's going on, then you can't have body awareness. And if you can't learn what your body's saying to you, then you're missing a lot of important messages. So,
That what you're saying is so key, because I think that all of us prior to stroke, as I said before, you break a leg, you go to a doctor, they could do something, they could fix it. There's something concrete. You do A, you do B, you do C. But stroke recovery is a whole different ball game. And what works for Ralph may not work for me, and so on and so forth. So
Right.
So-
and
Funny
really,
you said that because I
more
was
kinds of
actually
broken
thinking the same
legs.
thing the other day. You break something, you go there, they'll fix it, and you'll get back, but this is totally different scenario, totally different. It's not like I'm gonna tell my left arm, move or do this. It just doesn't.
The way that I look at this is the medical world is there for the acute problem. And the acute problem for me was that I had a block in my brain and it needed to be unblocked. And the acute problem for you is very different, but there is a general, it's almost like they throw us all underneath this umbrella of generality to be able to give us these treatments over a period of time. And I'm not against the medical world in any way, shape, or form. I think they're there, and I think as human beings, we all need them for support. But I feel like the design of pumping, and this medical world's ran by big pharma. So the design of pumping medication is part of that. And as a person in healing, you need to be aware of what your options are. There are so many more options out there, and our bodies were made naturally. And to be able to cure them, God and Mother Nature has truly given us everything we need.
True.
And we need that support and that intervention from time to time, but in my mind, I really try to keep that in an acute short-term fashion when it comes to any kind of medicines I allow in my body anymore. I used to be somebody that would walk in and take whatever, and I'm not saying get off of any of your medicines. I'm not saying that at all by any means. Take what you need to take, listen to your doctor, but also keep in mind that food and
Oh, we lost her.
Uh-oh. But I completely agree with her. I'm not a fan too much of a medication pumping in all the meds. I'm not a fan of that either. And
body movement, and
Oh, she's back
Oh.
for a split
there
second.
it is. I could hear you guys. That was so strange.
You've frozen
Out of
me
body
like this.
experience.
Whenever I buy these weird tower things, and sometimes it gets a little funny in spots of my house. I'll have to figure out a different location to do this in next time.
Well,
So,
hey,
but anyway, that's
I'm
it.
not-
We could
I'm not
probably
the
sit and
teacher.
chat about this all day long. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I was just saying I'm not the teacher, but I got a little assignment or thought for everybody, if it's okay with you.
Yeah, I was going to end with one, but that's a great
Well,
idea.
no,
Rob.
you can end it. I'll just say this and then you can end it. I'm not trying to
Please.
steal your thunder.
No.
So basically, earlier I was talking about how do you make the transition from doing it in class to, being more mindful about it all the time. And there's one thing you can do, and this is where I'm at after a year and a half of yoga. I tend to not think about it. The problem I have is in my brain. I don't tend to think about breathing or mindfulness or whatever. But one thing I have been able to do is pretty much all the time, I've learned I pretty much breathe through the diaphragm. So you should, when you
That's
breathe, you
key,
should
yeah.
feel, well, the diaphragm's up here. It's not diaphragm, it's a little lower. You should feel your solar plexus rising and falling. It's hard to, Angelia, it's really hard to talk and do the
And breathe.
breathing at the same time. It's like almost impossible. I never tried that. I'm always doing it in class. Anyway, so I'll just do it once or twice and maybe you can see it with my hand.
I like to call those body breaths because
So it's coming from lower, not it's
you
it's not
engage
just
your
the
whole
lung
body.
expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph, you must have been reading my mind because I was going to request that for next time. If you could incorporate in the diaphragm and the belly and all of that and breathing properly, I guess, through those areas. So if we could do that next time, it would be great.
You got it.
I would imagine that most of us on a normal everyday basis, we're probably breathing rather shallow.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
And breathing to your diaphragm helps you breathe deeper. It forces the air down further into your lungs, which gives you, you know, more of the oxygen and cleansing benefits.
And Angelia, I think what was important, what you explained in the beginning is that, you know, the breathing and your physical being, what it does for cleansing and what it does for circulation. I think that that was also very, you know, helpful to understand that we're not just talking about the mechanics of breathing. We're talking about, you know, what it's ridding our bodies of and how is it's replenishing. And I think
Yeah,
I think, you know, that knowledge, that information was very helpful to me. I don't know how much I'll remember. I'll have to go back and review this again.
yeah. Not just the
It has short-term and
biomechanical,
long-term
it's
effects.
definitely combined effort. I'm so glad to hear all this feedback. I really hope that you guys all enjoyed this class. And as an assignment, what I'd like to end with is over this next week, I would like you all to try to pull awareness into one moment each day where you give yourself 2 minutes of just intentionally breathing in through your nose and pushing it out through your mouth. You don't have to do any holds, just a rhythmic inhalation of 4 and an exhalation of 4. Try that out if you can remember through the week. And next week, whenever we come back, we'll talk about it.
Sounds good.
Fantastic. I am so grateful for everybody coming and
you.
holding space.
No,
Thank
I am so doing this because I feel like something took my heaviness from my body. I feel much lighter. I love it. Thank you so much for this session.
And
Thank
thank you,
you.
Ralph.
That'll
Let's
make Angelia feel
Thank you.
happy.
I am so glad to hear all this. Let's end with a good chant. Okay, let's go. Happy mind, happy body, happy healing.
Oh.
Okay, we ready? Happy mind,
Mind,
happy body, happy healing. Thank you, everybody. This was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. This was amazing.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody, and thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Angelia. Thank you, everybody, and go forth and do good.
Thank you. Till next time.
Okay.
All right, till next
Okay.
Friday.
Everybody.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yep, yep, yep.
Hey.
Thank
For all you
you.
older people who would get that.
Yeah.